and welcome to another episode of Analytics Unplugged. My name is Katie Whale, Marketing Specialist at Buxton. Here with me today is Sarah Ainouz. Sarah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you for having me, Katie. I'm Sarah Ainouz. I am currently a market research analyst at Kubota Tractor Corporation. Right now, as a market research analyst, I help with market research, doing their studies and projects on what our customers want. I got my education from the University of Texas in Arlington with a master's in marketing research, and this is a career that I've always wanted to be in. So I'm very excited to be working in it.
So, yeah, have you always been interested in kind of the data world or by age?
Yeah, I had my undergrad at the University of North Texas in marketing, and I knew that being in the foreground and there was a little bit too much pressure, and I wanted to be more in the background and understand more of the customers and how do we actually get them the products that they want, because there has to be a way. So
Right.
I kind of figured that out like in high school, and then went more into it as I went to college and my master's program.
I feel it. That's awesome. I feel like not a lot of companies have, and I mean, I guess it's kind of depends on the company side if you have a dedicated marketing research person or not. So that's an interesting one. So I don't know. I'll get off with our first question. That's just you and I talked a lot about qualitative research. You know, kind of how, like you said, that you uncover the customer's needs and things about the customer that they might not even know that they want. So just could you kind of explain or maybe words on qualitative research and understanding customer needs?
So when we're doing qualitative, it's more of an exploration part of the research. We want to understand their motivations, and there's always something working in the background when they're choosing a product. It can be very subconscious, and being in qualitative research and having very talented moderators that do it, it's like being in psychology and a psychiatrist who is looking at the person and uncovering, well, what's really driving them to get these products. Then that's how you explore, and then that's how you create your hypotheses. And from there, you go into quantitative research and really get the numbers behind that hypothesis and behind what you're trying to get at.
Awesome. That makes sense. It's kind of interesting. I feel like you normally lead with quantitative and then follow up with the qualitative once you get like more to the nitty gritty, but I understand the opposite way. I feel like that's how.
So there are other companies, like there are the market research companies that recommend doing qualitative first, then a quantitative to get numbers, and then more qualitative after to really further specify those hypotheses and really get the emotions and the human behind what those numbers were. So the exploration phase, you get the general idea of what people are feeling. Then the quantitative will get you more pinpoint answers and the numbers behind it. And the second phase of qualitative will get you to deeper understanding of a person and what all is working in that situation.
Fantastic. I think you and I talked too about laddering, and so we can go ahead and dive right into that. So you've mentioned that, well, can you walk us through the laddering process?
Yeah, so when our moderators are talking to our respondents and during interviews, they will do a laddering technique, which is to figure out from the product perspective, a feature in our product, and build upon that from the feature all the way to the values that the person holds when they're buying this product. So they are buying a Volvo, and it's very cliche, but we go all the way up the value chain and then figure out that, they want safety. And it's how they just determine this from a physical aspect to a value and just laddering up to that.
Gotcha. Okay, so building upon to really understand what it is about the product as a whole, just from that one individual feature.
So it's what the person values most from that feature, and that's why they buy that product, the whole product. So when you do this laddering, you have to be able to break down your product into its features, into its physical features. And then when you're interviewing your respondents, you're going keep probing, asking why and why, up to the ultimate values and intangible aspects and emotions that the respondents have. So that can be like safety or wanting to have prestige. Like I feel like it's worth a lot more, and so it makes me feel good. Things like that. So you just build up from that physical aspect to intention.
That's right. And this is how you uncover things that people might not even know about themselves. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially an example is when talking to landscapers, you think that these people, there are some people that just do it for a job, and it's a job that has to be done. It's a good job. I get to be outside and things like that. But then it gets deeper that they actually enjoy it, and it's therapeutic. They like seeing a manicured grass and lawn and landscape, and it makes them feel good, and they want to do that as a service, and that's how you build up from just these actions or this product or this feature all the way up to what they ultimately feel.
Okay. Interesting. That makes sense. I like the landscape example. That's helpful to visualize it. While we're talking about kind of those laddering techniques, you and I had talked a little bit about how you've changed strategies before and kind of having to use that qualitative research to focus more on end users and just following the assumption that people are a little bit higher in the ladder.
Yeah, so undergoing this transformation from product-focused demand from our internal clients, their product-focused demand, to an overall market focus, it has been a little bit challenging because you have to talk to everybody that's internal and tell them this new plan. And doing this change can be very dramatic for a company and for the internal stakeholders. So doing this market focus, we are able to open up the box to all possibilities instead of just thinking, we do this product and this is a product that we'll do and that's it. By doing a market, it opens up the opportunity of we can do more than just this product and have things that add on to this product, attachments or technology or other features that can help the overall outcome. And by focusing on the outcome of what job people need to do and how they need to do it, and breaking up all these steps down can help figure out brand new ideas and innovations. The example that I use the most is nobody asked for a microwave, but the outcome is that they wanted food heated up faster. And that's how the microwave became to be. So
I love that.
switching this point of view from product to market can help a company really diversify and solve a lot more problems for their customers.
Right. And it's just kind of changing that mindset to be really customer focused.
And not just customer focused, but job focused that they want to accomplish. Your customers, of course, it depends on the product, but the customer, they have a job of accomplishing something, and they use your product to accomplish it. Whether it be fulfilling a value or a motivation of theirs, or fulfilling a job to be done, like shaving. I have to shave, so that needs to be done. And it will by breaking that down into the steps, it helps see what other things can be done in that environment.
Right. Oh, yeah, that builds upon that, and then things that you can kind of it's like taking a broader view instead of just focusing on exactly what your solution can provide. It's more, not ideation, but sort of.
It's like creating an ecosystem. So, like Apple has their computer, but it's kind of inconvenient to have a computer and then not have the phone, and then not have the Apple TV, because it's all seamlessly connected, and they have all these solutions. So it's just creating that ecosystem of solutions that solves the customer's problems.
Awesome. That's a good illustration too with Apple that resonates for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Another question that I had for you was just willing to kind of answer my question about qualitative and quantitative research and how that works together. Just from your examples and kind of what you've learned throughout. And I think our next thought was just kind of some resources that you like, some sort of things that have helped build your career. Do you have anything else that you'd want to touch on that you feel like we kind of glazed over?
So I really recommend the book What Customers Want. It's by Anthony Ulwick, and it's a really good book. It shows you how he helped companies break down the problems that customers had down to their bare bones and see where the opportunities lie. A company that makes a product does not just make a product. It can make other things that are better solutions. It can be a training company, as in, we make the product and then we added some technology on it, and it's a bit hard to learn this technology on your own, so we're here to help you train. And having this sort of support is very important for customers and then for the overall brand. So not only are you making your product, but you're also known as being helpful and reinforcing that not only is the product good, but you're supporting throughout the whole process. So
right. What is it that they call that in sales? It's your trusted advisor. That's like the ultimate goal as a company.
Yeah. They just be there by their side. And that's what they need. Whether it's from the point of view of the manufacturer, but also your middlemen and your support centers that are working towards that ideal.
Right. They're all representative of the brand identity as being helpful and supportive, like you said.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's always interesting to me too, just being from, on the Buxton side, with my personal job, I'm very B2B. So, I talk about how great all of our customer insights are, but it's really interesting to talk to somebody that works with the customer insights every day. And it's kind of being able to pause and take a step back. And like you said, with that it was hard to kind of pitch this to stakeholders and people that, this is the tried and true way that we've been doing things, is focusing on attributes of our product that people like versus getting down to the nitty-gritty of why people are attached to the product. I just think that's fascinating. That's so cool.
Yeah, but for sure. I mean, they're, like I said, subconscious, and you don't even notice it when you get something or you buy something or use something. It takes a lot of work to uncover it, but once it's uncovered, it can lead to many opportunities.
Right. And those intentions that they don't even know about. I always use the example of something really neat that I found one time just piddling through our data. It's a big overlap between pet owners and people that buy organic groceries. And just interesting. And then I started, of course, getting advertisements for, I think it's a farmer's dog. I don't even have a dog, but
yeah,
farmer's dog, which is perfectly the organic food, and also you're a pet lover. And so they mashed that together and then came up with this, well, if you love your pet, wouldn't you love to feed them the good food that you prioritize for your body? I just think that's so cool that finding that qualitative data and digging into it is so neat.
Yeah, it really helps supplement what you get from just social media listening or your surveys, your satisfaction surveys. A lot of companies, they create these satisfaction surveys and then they don't do much with it. It's just, we have our NPS score and that's it. Right. And that's not enough to really understand, they can say they're satisfied with a product, but we're not seeing as to why they're not fully satisfied, or we're not seeing the other aspects that they're talking about. They could like the product itself, and they, it was hard to get, and it was hard for me to get it. I had to go to this one specific store to get it. It's not available online, or it was very confusing doing research online. And that's another aspect to talk about. It's just the whole customer journey all contributes to it.
Yeah, and knowing what questions to ask.
Exactly.
Definitely not yes/no questions, or like you said, fashion program. It's just where you satisfied, yes or no. It's allow people to vent.
Yeah, and the qualitative, it's very easy to ask yes or no questions in qualitative, but a thing to do is that you're using this time to get people talking, and so having to mitigate those yes or no questions is very important because you're going to be wasting time. Well, would it be good if it was at this speed? And that's a yes or no question. Why don't we ask them? Can it be, what would be the ideal speed for you? Things like that. So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as the research person, kind of how do you, instead of just gathering that data, I feel like and maybe this is just an assumption, but with qualitative, is it harder to analyze, or is that easier than just trying to make something out of numbers?
So qualitative gives you a theme, and that's why it's not an exact science. That's why it's an exploration. They're hypotheses. What we get back from our moderator, who does the reports, but as we're looking at the reports and remembering back to the interviews that we watched, it's important to know that this is a small sample. And again, this is to set you on a theme of where we could go from there. So overall arching themes of people found it hard to find this on the website. That's a bigger theme. Or they do not feel as supported as they should be. So they could have bigger, broader things. So a feeling of not being supported, that can be more dissected and into different questions that you can go into quantitative.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Do you have any, you shared a few examples. Do you have any examples that really, you were like, sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I'm thinking.
I guess another good question would be, how did you guys decide that this is the direction you wanted to shift into? From the more product focus to the broader market?
I think the competition, they had not needed that market input for all these years. And then the competition started heating up in this sector, and wanting to compete and being ahead of them is to now take into account market input. And so all these years, it just wasn't there because it wasn't needed. It was held behind the product was good, it was niche in its sector, and it dominated. But now that there's way too much competition, we need to learn how to differentiate ourselves and not just based off of sales and good products. Just a great product. It's like the product speaks for itself. Yes, it does. But how do you tell people that it speaks for itself?
Right. Yeah, totally. That's a good, metaphor kind of. I bet a lot of retailers, not just in your space, but even more broadly as retailers as a whole, have that to grapple with, just as, we live in such a competitive marketplace.
Yeah, and customers are constantly bombarded with information, and it feels overwhelming on both sides.
Right. And identifying the psychology of your customers, how you can really break through that noise. Yeah. To there and being key.
And being authentic by showing that you understand them. I think is what's really valued, especially in these younger generations compared to what the older ones had. Being authentic and we understand you. We understand what you mean by this and your values. That goes a lot longer. It's a lot farther.
Well, that's why we did that. Yeah, kind of exposing, revealing the intentions behind certain changes that you've made to benefit the customer. Interesting. I think the customer research is audio point or Buxton. Kind of for a analytics side, but I just think it's fascinating to hear from someone that does it, repeatedly, and offer the qualitative is really interesting.
Yeah, and having them work together helps a lot because you get to see the patterns develop and then match up with the themes that you found and see how that works out. And if it doesn't work, then that means that there's something deeper.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Something else to explore.
Yeah. And just keep on digging.
Sarah, this was so great. Thank you so much for being part of this Analytics Unplugged episode. This was just really great. Thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun.
Awesome. That wraps up this episode of Analytics Unplugged. Tune in next month and we'll see you again.
To learn more about Buxton, visit our website at buxtonco.com.